Okay, welcome everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning Impromptu New Year's Eve stream. So, yeah, I just thought I would do a little impromptu stream, talk about some different things, do a little bit of drawing, maybe a little coloring. I don't know. I'm hoping some other people will jump on and want to stream today as well. A lot of times, a lot of us streamers have done New Year's Eve streams throughout the day and into the night. And so hopefully some more people will stream today. Thursday, the only person I know that for sure that streams on Thursday night. And let me start by saying I thought today was Friday. I was talking to my daughter this morning on her way to work, Denise, and I said, I might stream for a little while before Barb comes on at 2. She comes on every Friday at 2, and she goes, Mom, today is Thursday. I went, oh, it's Thursday. And she goes, you got plenty of time to stream before Barb. So I guess I do. But anyway, it's New Year's Eve, so hopefully a whole bunch of people, some other artists, some other streamers will jump on and do some streaming today. Maybe we can carry it on through midnight. Can't say I'll be here till midnight, but it is New Year's Eve, and a lot of times we've got together and streamed for a long day. So anyway, yeah, Carrie's posting some different channels. Artistic Biker. I don't know if is he moved in enough in his new house to stream tonight. I've not heard Carrie, and so yeah, she's Carrie's posting a few other channels that might stream today. All I know is for sure that the Artistic Biker streams at 7 Eastern, but I don't know if he's streaming tonight, like I said, because they just moved. So anyway, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he's showing the house, but that might be it. Okay, thanks, Carrie. So a couple things. One is I got to move the camera down so I can move my stuff closer to me, which kind of puts me a little bit out of focus. But let's put this card here to help focus. That always helps. These black letters help focus. Plus, it's a craft color. So what I have here I sketched her out, and let me back up a couple things. Let me back up. I said last week, or I guess it was Monday, because I've totally lost track of time running back and forth to the Grand's house and everything else. And my other daughter Annie is going to be here next weekend, next Friday night. She won't be here till Friday night. So I don't know if I can get her on a stream, but yeah, she'll be here a week from tomorrow. A week from tomorrow. So maybe I can get her on a quick stream as well, but I can't promise anything. But they'll be here just pretty much for the weekend. And I think they leave Tuesday at 6 a.m. or something, fly out on Tuesday at 6 a.m. So I don't know if I could get her on Mondays more. Maybe I can get her on my regular Monday morning stream. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll have to see because, everybody's running around wanting to see them and they want to go visit. And so it's kind of hard to schedule a stream with her when I don't know. I don't know if what the plans are, but we'll try. We'll try. So what I was talking about on my last show was at least once a month, I wanted to focus on I wanted to draw one YouTuber who I like or I watch a lot or just, whatever. I just want to kind of give back to YouTube because everything we do over here on Ustream kind of revolves around all the Ustreamers. But since I started uploading my streams to YouTube about a year ago, it was a year ago, November. Thank you, Jean, for making me. Music Scrap Jean said, you need to upload these to YouTube. And Rach, too. I got to say, Rach is another one that said, you need to upload these to YouTube. And she would have said it with a British accent. But yeah. So I kind of wanted to do something for the YouTuber. So what I thought I would do is do a drawing of a YouTuber that I liked once a month or so. Maybe more if I feel like it. But anyway, so, and a lot of it's going to depend on how good of a screenshot I can get of them. Let me show you here real quick because I do have It's going to depend on how well of a screenshot I can get of them. For instance, like here's Bailey J that I did. She was real easy to get a screenshot because she does vlogs where her face is like really close to the camera. So I was able to capture a screenie of her really easy. For the person I want to draw today, I had to actually ask her to send me a picture. And it's Miss Vicky B. And I thought that the reason well, other than I love her channel and that she's the planner queen, is because the new year, you know, it involves planners and planning and goals and all that. I thought she would be the perfect one to start the year off drawing, would be Miss Vicky B. So I just kind of have her, I'm not even finished sketching her out. I have her picture right here. And again, it's probably going to flash the camera out, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the picture I'm working from. So there's Miss Vicky B. I'm sure y'all recognize her from her YouTube channel. And she's real easy to find. Just put Miss Vicky B, B-E-E. And so, yeah, so that's who I was going to start to draw. Now, again, in a couple 2-3 hour show, I probably won't finish her. It's hard to tell. Sometimes I can do people faster than others, depending on, you know, how much detail, how much time, how much gabbing I do. Yeah. Yeah, she does have a great YouTube. And I will link her channel in the description box under my upload. So anyway, I thought it would be appropriate to draw her because, oh, I need my other eraser. I need a tinier eraser. Because of the planner factor. Because she's the planner. I mean, nobody does planner reviews like Miss Vicky B. That I know of. Let's just say that. I mean, there may be other ones out there. And me not being a, where's my, I can't find my pencil. Hang on, guys. Me not being a planner, got a little something there on her eye. Not doing, I love planners. I love sketchbooks. I love any kind of the Fobonichi, the Hobonichi, the Dories, the Duck Dories, the Madories, the Faux Dories, the Adorables. I love all of it. As long as I don't have to date a calendar. So I'll just start that. I'll start the little, while I'm kind of finishing up a little bit of the sketching. And again, it's going to be kind of hard for you to see. I try to lightly have sketches light because color pencil over, you know, you don't want a lot of graphite being picked up in your drawing. And I don't like to draw with, sometimes I'll draw with a sepia, you know, like a light brown or something. It just depends. But anyway, so about the planner thing. So I love all the planners, all the sketchbooks, the little notebooks, the pretty papers, the stickers, the doodlollies, the dashboards. I love it all. Hi, Heather. However, I don't like keeping date things. And I told y'all about my 12 by 12 big calendar. It was kind of like my first, like a life book type thing, but it wasn't like an art life book. It was like kind of like just keeping track of everything I did, my goals, you know, where I went, where I shopped, what, you know, in the little squares every day. And what I did, and this is now, again, let me back up a little, beep, 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 and say that if you are one that is able to do this, it's great. It is awesome. If you're one that can keep a planner, keep your goals, write down all your Hobonichi little drawings and everything daily, it's awesome if you can do that. For me, it drove me crazy because I'm like one that when I get into something, I go so into it. And when I went so into it, I was constantly writing down everything. And what I had done is I took a 12 by 12 calendar and I cut those, you know, the dated squares. I cut it out of a calendar and mounted them all on beautiful 12 by 12 scrapbook paper and put them in a big 12-inch by 12-inch deep, you know, big binder for the year. So I was writing down everything when I shopped, where I, you know, my commissions. I was writing down everything in those little 2-inch squares. By, I don't know, the fall, I was so ready for the year to be over. It was driving me crazy trying to keep up with myself. Yeah, it was way too much work for me, Eileen. It was way too much work. Now, some people that doesn't stress them out. They're calmly, just like I would a color book. I'll sit there and color calmly. Some people can just write out all their notes and their journaling and their goals and their plans and what they did and what they spent and what they're doing and write it down just as calmly as could be. I was like frantic. I couldn't keep up with myself. So I said, this is not for me. So I did that for 1 year. And I don't know where I put that book. Let's see. Maybe I can show you the cover. Let's see where I put it. If it's in here. I know it is somewhere, but I don't know. I thought it was on this shelf. What did I do with that book? It's a big Mama Jamba, too. It's not hard. I mean, you can hardly miss it, but I don't know. I think I moved it into the other room to get it out of my sight. I don't see it right there. Oh, wait. Is this it? Is this it? No. I don't know. I don't know where I moved it. I think I just moved it out of my sight. So anyway, but it was a lesson learned for me that it's just not, everybody has a different way of organizing their thoughts, their time, their goals, and all that. So whatever your way is, there's nothing wrong with it. Whatever works for you is right, okay? Again, I love all the planners and all the, those things. But for me, I found that I'm more of a list maker. And as long as I can just make list of goals, list of whatever, whatever it is, the books I've read or bought or want to buy or things like that, I'm a list maker rather than a date planner. So you just kind of have to find what works for you. But if you do like any kind of organizing, planners, any of that stuff, Miss Vicky B, as far as I've come across on YouTube, has the most in-depth reviews, unboxings, showings. She'll work in some and talk about how she's moved into this one, how it's working for her, not working for her. She'll move into another one. And people that like lots of planners and that kind of thing, they'll move from one to the other. It's kind of like a sketchbook. If you like sketching in this size or that size or this kind of paper, if you're inking or sketching or drawing or painting, collaging, mixed media, whatever, you're moving from book to book, And so it's kind of the same for those people that are really into their Hobonichis, Fobonichis, Dories, and all that. They'll move from one to the other. And so Eileen posted something about a whatever in each week. So anyway, I love watching Miss Vicky B's channel. Regardless if she's doing a planner review, showing her sketches, or now she's starting to do some color booking. And so I love her channel. So I thought that it would just be a good way to start the year off by drawing her. And again, she knew I was going to do it. She didn't know what day, but she knew I was going to draw her. So that's why I asked her to send me a picture. So there's her picture she sent me, which I don't know why, things don't flash out on the iPad, but they flash out on the phone, the iPhone. I don't understand why that is. I can hold a picture of a iPad picture just fine. Let me refocus. But a picture of on my phone flashes out. I don't know why that is. I'm sure there's something to do with the glass or I don't know. Anyway. So, yes, Miss Vicky B is awesome. Yeah. So I'll post, I was supposed to be talking and finish sketching. So, which I seem to not be doing. So if y'all have any questions or anything, or if y'all know of anybody else that's going to stream today or over, the New Year's Day or Eve, let me know and we'll talk about them too, so that I'm trying to see. I got a glare on. I got a shadow. Let me see if I can kind of move this. I can't have the bright lamp in my eyes, but let's see if I can get another light here. Another light, because it's a dreary day. Although when it's a dreary day out, because it's been raining all week, and it just is stopping today, and we should have decent weather all week. But that seems to actually be better because my lighting is more, you know, shows up the work rather than the sun. Although I work better in actual daylight. So let me check up with chat. Yeah, she's isn't she? I tell her she's so put together. She's so put together. So let me just see who all's here. And I think I said hi to. Okay, so Ange is going to stream. Who else do y'all know? Yeah, I haven't been able to be at many streams the last week or a week and a half before the holidays because the kids are coming. We went up there. I think we've been up to their house 4 times in a week and a half. And they've been here part, you know, off and on as well. So it's just been, you know, I haven't had a chance. I do watch, I'll binge watch YouTubes every now and then, like I have, you know, segments where I can do that. But a used stream is, you know, usually 2 or 3 hours. And I love watching long streams when I'm working. Because when I'm working, I like something long and I can just glance up and watch the recording and work along. So I love long streams, whether they're uploaded to YouTube or just I watch them on Ustream. But I love watching long videos when I'm working. But thanks, Carrie. All right, so I do have a shadow on this side, and I know it's that lamp there, but I got lights going all 5. I got 5 lamps surrounding me, so hopefully we'll be good. So, hey, Linda, Art Unit. Who else did I miss before? I said hi to Janet, Lynn, Lucia. Hey, Sharon Persimmon. It's been a while. Oh, there's Hubster home from out shopping. Sandpat, Tam, Z. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I do too, Cable Claire. I love long shows when I'm working. So, oh, and one other thing, I did get a request on YouTube. Somebody asked me about the chart that I've shown multiple times of what color pencil goes over and what it doesn't. And she asked which video I showed it on. Well, I show it all the time. So I told her I couldn't remember exactly where I showed it because it's like random. You know, someone just says, oh, show that chart. It just pops in, you know, so I couldn't tell her exactly where. So I told her that I would show it again my next stream. So this is my next stream. So let me go ahead and just review this real quick. I made a little chart of what color, some Prismacolor. I just did Prismacolor, black and white. When you lay down a wash of another media underneath, and if you go over the top of it with Prismacolor, what it does and how it looks. So hang on, guys, I froze with, I should do something about that. Turning my mail thing there. When I get a whole bunch of mail, it freezes me for a second. So here's the chart I was talking about. So I tried to use the same base colors with the same, you know, or similar colors underneath with the black and white on top. So when you're working in a color book, like my Anamorphia one, let me pull a couple things here. So if you're working with a wash, like I did here in the Anamorphia one, I've done a few different things. So this is just a wash of acrylic paint. And by wash, I mean watered down, just plain old craft acrylic paint, watered down to make a wash as a base layer before you start doing a lot of the little shading details with color pencil. Let's see, where's the one I was going to say? Here's one I finished. I have a few that I finished, like this. And so like the blue and the orange started out with just a wash of watered down acrylic paint. This is one I did a close-up work on here. We did this one for a while. And I just kind of go back and forth because I like to work on different ones, but also there's no way I could finish a full, you know, this is hours and hours worth of work that we just don't have time on a stream. So anyway, what I wanted to show, though, I use as an example to show that that is what acrylic wash is. Like here's the acrylic wash and here's acrylic no water. And then I did a black and white Prismacolor pencil over the top of it so you can see the quality or the vibrancy or the richness and depth of the color pencil on top of different things. So here it is with, this is just Americana craft paint. There's acrylic with no water, and here's an acrylic wash. As you can see, the black and white stands out a lot. All right, on the Neo 2, the Neo 2 water soluble, let me stress that, Neo 2 water soluble, because the Neo 1s are not water soluble. So there is the turquoise is the Neo color, and then you can see the color pencil on top. It's not a lot of difference, but it's a little different, okay? And I wanted to show too, with just a plain old Crayola crayon, you can't even see the white, and you can see that color pencil does not go over a wax crayon. You cannot shade and blend or even put a layer of Prismacolor or any kind of color pencil on top of just a plain old crayon. And then here's a water-based marker, and here's a Sharpie. Again, you can see that it goes over quite well. However, if you want to use markers in your color book, make sure that it's not bleeding through. If it's just a one-sided page, then it doesn't matter. You can just put some cardstock behind it, and it doesn't matter if it bleeds through. So you could use Sharpies or Copics or whatever you want, depending on the bleedness of the paper you're working on. But color pencil will go over both of those as well. Now from Jess, my Copic, the person that I know knows the most about Copics, she always tells me not to put Copics on top of color pencil. Color pencil on top of your Copics is fine, but if you try to use Copics on top of color pencil, it's kind of like if you use a Sharpie on acrylic paint, it will like dry the tip out. So don't ruin a $6, $7 Copic trying to go on top of color pencil. But here it's color pencil on top of everything that I'm showing. Okay, if y'all have any questions, put them in caps. And thanks everybody for being here. Got quite a few people here for impromptu. Thanks everybody for being here. Hey, Patty, haven't seen you for a while. Most people that stream like late or on odd hours, I don't get to go live to their streams, but I do try to get to their recordings. Like I said, I like to watch long streams when I'm working. So it dissolved the wax. Yeah, I guess it dissolves the wax and then gets in the tip. Gets in the tip of the Copic and ruins your Copic, so you don't want to do that. Okay, so here are the color, and hi Susan, by the way. So here is a black pencil and a white pencil, Prismacolor, on top of watercolors. Here's just a kid's watercolor set. Here's a koi watercolor, the turquoise. And again, it goes well on both of those. Here is Inktense, watered down Inktense pencil, and it's the Derwent Inktense. And here is with it straight onto the paper and washed. And here it is lighter, where you take your water brush, and just pull the paint off of the Inktense, so it's a little bit lighter. Again, it goes over fine. Here it is over ink, acrylic. This is just acrylic ink. And here is the pencil over both of those, an ink wash and an ink. Here is color pencil. And this was the most, to me, one of the most important things to show. Here it is with black and white color pencil over color pencil. So I laid down a dark, a turquoise color pencil, Prismacolor, and then tried to go over it with the black and white. You can't even see where I went over it with the white. Oh, I think it's right there. This is where I went over the color pencil with the white pencil. This is why I like to use a wash of either an acrylic or a Neocolor base coat to work on top of with the color pencils. If I just did a flat color of color pencil as a base, you can build it up that way, just like I'm going to do on a portrait. But you cannot get white like on top of your pencil like that. You see, you can hard press a black or a darker color, but a lighter color will just blend. So you have to kind of practice your color pencils to know what layers and what blends. Because you can layer quite a few layers with darker and darker, but to blend, it's you have to have a light hand. Okay. So I just wanted to re-show this chart for the person on YouTube that left me that question, because I could not point out to exactly where in all my hours and hours of, and I think I just kind of guesstimated, and I'm thanking Jean for this, Music Scrap Jean, for getting me to upload to YouTube. I think I have about 500 hours uploaded to YouTube, Jean. 500 hours. I cannot even think of that in a year. So anyway, that I'm blaming Jean. I mean, thank you, Jean. Okay, so where's my pencil? Okay, so back to like I said, I've almost got enough where I can start. And y'all know when I do a portrait, I've done a lot of them, even showing you doing some classes here. Let me kind of move this down just a little. It kind of gives it a weird perspective, but I have to have it closer to me. I actually should just move the camera back. Hold on, guys. Let me just back the camera up on the stick so I can keep it in proportion here. So my it stays in proportion. You know what I mean, Vern? Oh, question. The color pencil works really nice to velvet up the pit brush pens and smooth out the spottiness you sometimes get with markers too. Yes, it does. I love doing that. Okay, hang on. Denise sent me a picture. I think it has to do with Boo's birthday. So hold on. Let's see. Hubster's home. I have to get him to turn on the air. I'll have to turn on the fan. I think I'll just turn on the fan. Here, guys. It's very humid out because it's been raining all week. Yes, so it does. When you use a marker base, and Copics ideally would probably be the most awesomest base for anything, as long as it didn't bleed, as long as whatever, like a color book for an example, as long as the paper you're using doesn't bleed. With the Copics, the color pencil on top of that, like Jess does a lot of cards, digi-stamps and stamping, and then colors with Copics and color pencil. You can do that on the right paper. But a lot of color books are very cheap paper, and it's just probably not going to work. You know, the Copics or any kind of alcohol-based markers just are not going to be conducive with the cheap paper. So, oh, okay. So I'm supposed to be got a little too much drawing on our teeth. So, and here's what I like about drawing from my iPad is, see, I can just zoom right in. Miss Vicky B's going, oh no, don't do that. But like, for instance, if I'm drawing an eye, I can zoom right up on her eye. You see how close I can get? Which for a person that wears trifocals, that's really nice to be able to do this, to see the color and everything. So her eyes are really kind of a dark blue gray with a little bit of gold around the pupil. See, I would not have been able to see that otherwise. So, you know, from here. So that's why I like drawing from an iPad. So if y'all like to draw anything, whether it's an animal, a face, or whatever, and you need a close-up, you know, that's the awesome thing about having an iPad, you know, is being able to do that, to get up really close. Okay? Whoops, where'd she go? There. So. Hey, Rain. Hey, Z. Happy New Year's to you, too. Happy New Year's to you, too. Happy New Year, Z. Oh my gosh. I know there's a 30-second chat delay, so okay, Denise is still posting me pictures. Okay, let me tell her I'm streaming. Yeah, because she's the one that told me I had plenty of time to stream before Barb. I thought today was Friday. I said, well, I might stream for a little bit before Barb streams at 2. She streams every Friday at 2. And Denise goes, Mom, it's Thursday. I went, really? I seriously thought I woke up and it was Friday. I really thought it was Friday. All right, let's get started. Okay, so she's wearing kind of a gray, kind of a nice gray shirt. And I don't really concentrate too much on the clothing detail. I put a little bit in there because that little chin is a little off. Just to, to have some clothes on the person and their hair too. So, hey Sherry. So if y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Thanks everybody for being here. And her hair, she's got a lot of colors in her hair. I mean, from very dark underneath to light highlights on the top. So I think I'm just going to start with like a brown color, because I'm going to have to darken some of it to black in the shadows. And then it's almost like white highlights, not white, but like blonde highlights on the edges. So, but I think if I start with just a mid-tone brown as a base, then I can add the lighter colors, golden highlights, and the dark browns and blacks along the edges. But I have to have a base. So when I know I'll probably be repeating myself. You thought it was Friday too, Susan? I'll be repeating myself along the steps, because I use the same type of steps throughout all my process, and I'm just talking out what I'm doing. So I know it's probably going to be repetitive for when I'm explaining things, but when the person that's watching it, for the first time, then they'll get the sense of what's going on. Plus, that is just what is going on. I'm just talking out my process. Hey, honey. Do what? Well, yeah, I just turned my fan on because it was getting stuffy in here. So I'm just going to have a nice kind of let's see, what's this one called? I think it's called Mississippi Mud. Denise is still texting me. As a base for her hair, just to have something to work on top of. Okay, hey Terry. And the same thing for her outfit is a kind of a dark gray, kind of well, it's actually kind of a medium gray. Let's see if I can find a good medium gray. This is probably too dark and this one's too light, so let me mix the two. So just to start, and then what I do after I just kind of block in the clothing and hair, those are the only things I really add acrylic paint to. The face itself is all color pencil, except sometimes a white highlight or lightening the white of the eyes with some white acrylic paint. But everything else on the face is going to be pencil. But the hair and the clothing I base with some acrylic paint, and I just water it down just a little bit with a spray bottle, which I'm not going to do right there. I'm going to come off to the side because I certainly don't want to spray this. And let me just find a brush here. So if you have any questions, just ask. I know most of y'all have seen me do all this a lot of times, so you may not have any questions, but again, if you're just joining me, I'm trying to do I want to do a portrait. I want to do a portrait of a YouTube artist that I either like or watch or admire or whatever once a month, just to give the YouTube watchers some love, because everything kind of revolves around Ustream here with the live chat and everything. So I just thought it would be kind of like nice, since I upload to YouTube and have so many people like watching, like I always tell the grandchildren, what, like, why do you keep saying like, so anyway, so I can't do it. So I'm just going to base coat some gray for her clothes, and then I'll go back in and highlight and shadow. And I just want to kind of have, I usually when I photograph, when I photograph the portraits to upload, you know, I kind of crop them anyway, so it's not, you know, it doesn't matter so much about the edges and things. Like if some of my Gold Rush guys, they wear their hats or their hard hats and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll even draw the top of the hats because I'm going to crop them down, and I know the top of their hat's not going to show, so it doesn't get, I don't finish it because I want to fit it in the page. So, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm glad you got to visit your mom and your family for Christmas, Jean. That's awesome. Oh, and I have to say, Jean, I saw when you posted the picture of the little toy kitchen. I noticed that, I noticed the portrait sitting behind it. The portrait you commissioned me last year. That was nice to see, Jean. Yeah, and I loved your pictures. You took some good pictures. Although some people weren't too happy with Santa this year, were they? Oh, I know. That was so sweet. Of course, I only saw the one because it was on this side, and the other was around some other furniture and stuff, so I couldn't see the other side. But that was nice to see that they have their portraits displayed. Oh, thanks, Jean. That's good to know. Jean said that the commissions I did for her last Christmas are loved. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. Let me open my little thing of water over there so I can clean my brush. All right, and now I'm just going to just do a little bit. I need a little bit more water down. I don't need this real thick. All I'm really doing, I always put out much more paint than I need. But I just kind of want to, like, all in here is very, very black. I can almost, let's see, I think I will put, let me go ahead and get a little black. It's very, the shadows underneath of her, like her hair is folding over right here. So underneath, right in there, right in this area, this is very black under here in shadow. So I just kind of add a little black to that brown. And I'm not going to get right down onto her face because I want to have a little leeway. I want to have a little leeway under there for where her hairs come up from her forehead. Like, let me show you here. So you see the little hairs coming up from her forehead? I don't want to just do a black line right there. I want to have room for her head, her actual hairline to come up into there. Let's see if we get the color. So hang on, guys. Let me get my, there we go. Y'all know my lighting. Okay. So, yeah, so I don't want to get right up on the hairline. Yeah, yeah. How long does it take you to do one of your portraits this size? It depends. You know, a lot of times I don't really necessarily time it unless I'm here. And again, I've rarely finished. Like when we did Darcy UK, it was granted it was a class, so there was more talking than I would normally do, but it took 4 parts to do the Darcy UK tutorial. I think it was like, so that would have been what, 8 hours, 4 parts, 2 hours, or maybe even longer each. So it depends on that. And also, you know, if I'm doing it here, if I'm just doing it on my own, I don't always just work exclusively on the portrait because I stop and I'll do a stream. Like if I'm working on a commission and it's Monday morning, I have to stream. So I have to put the commission aside to stream, you see. Or if the grandkids come down, you know, it gets put on hold. So it just depends, you know. Hopefully, I want to get some more brown in there. I don't want any gray in this. this area. And it depends, like I'm right now, I'm stopping, I'm reading chat, I'm talking, I'm, you know, answering questions, which I love doing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't want to do that. I'm just saying time-wise, it takes longer when I'm doing something on stream than if I'm just sitting there focused. I can probably get one done. I'm working on one, and I won't like show a bunch of detail because I don't like to show people's commissions until they've seen them. So I'm working on this one. It's a couple, and I've really just, it's probably about, I'd say 1/3 of the way done. It's probably about 1/3 of the way done, and I've worked on it for about 3 hours. So this is how far I've got on them so far, and I probably have another 4 to 5 hours into it to go. So, you know, it depends. Yeah, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, I do have in my YouTube, I did make a bunch of playlists. Let me kind of work while I'm talking. I did make a bunch of playlists one Sunday a few weeks ago. Holding my breath right there. A few weeks ago, I made some playlists to make it easier for people to find. So I do have one that's portraits. I have animals. I have about 10 playlists. I just sat down and said, I'm going to make a playlist for everything. So I did. I made a playlist for everything. Oh, just to make it easier. If you see me doing this all the time, I'm hitting the don't go into sleep mode on the iPad. So it can take anywhere from, I'd say, 5 to 10 hours, depending on the complexity and all that. Now, I am probably not, I'm not going to finish this completely here. I rarely finish a portrait here. You know, I mean, I can get it a good ways, and sometimes what I try to do is work in different areas so you can see me working in different areas. Like I might get one eye done, or, you know, then I'll move half the hair done, just so you can see the process. But unless I sat here, hey, Miss Lisa, unless I sat here for 8 hours, you know, I'm probably not going to finish one, you know. All right, so now I'm just going to take the brown. Again, she's going to have all kinds of highlights and all kinds of things. I'm using I'm doing it with the wash. It's watered down, real watered down brown, so I can still see my pencil through there enough to kind of follow where the highlights and stuff go. But it's not, I don't want to get this too watery because it's, you know, it's my brown paper that I'm working on. And it's not like, it's not real thick. I mean, so I can't get this too watery without, I can't get this too watery without it warping. I don't want that. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of a, just a little bit of a wash. I'm just kind of following the curls. Because she's going to have like a lot of light curls, a lot of mid-tone. And then, like I said, way up under here, it's really dark. Oh, thanks, Rain. Well, I mean, I love, you know, this is what I do to make money is the portraits. But, you know, I love doing everything else too. So, you know, I mean, hey, you know me, I'll pull out a color book in a heartbeat. I'll pull out a color book in a heartbeat. So thanks everybody for being here. Let me get a little bit more watered down. So if you're just joining me, again, I'm going to try to do a portrait just, you know, just for like a shout out and a thank you to the YouTube community. I want to do a portrait maybe once a month of a YouTuber that I watch and like or follow, or just want to, you know, just because. I think Miss B is awesome. MissVickyBee is awesome. So I want to do, thought it would be good to do her with a planner theme, you know, New Year's theme, that I wanted to start with her for the new year because of, let me pull that back. I think I need, let me just tilt my camera down just so I can bring her a little closer to me here while I'm working. So I have to. Oh, thanks, Jen. Jen MPR. Okay, so that's all I'm really going to do right now with the hair. The other tip that I want to give, not just because when things just come to my mind, I just want to tell y'all. Like right now, I know that this is wet from the wash. Make sure that anything you go over with color pencil, whether it's marker, Neo Color 2 washes, acrylic washes, this has to be 110% dry. I can't stress that enough. Before you start going over it with color pencil, it has to be all 100% dry. Your pencils will not go over wet. Okay, your Prismacolor pencils, they will not blend, shade, layer. They won't do anything on wet except tear into your paper. So I know I say that every time, but really, hey, but like I said, you do it 1 or 2 times, you dig through your paper a couple times, and you won't do it again. You just don't want to do it on a portrait where you're, a little ways in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this real quick. Not that I'm going to do the hair right now. I'm going to start mapping out the face with a white pencil, but I don't want to set my hand or anything on the wet. So heat gun. Oh, geocaching. I'd love to do that sometime. I mean, I don't know if it's still, one of the girls here, Jen, just said that she's going to go geocaching. I mean, I know that it was a really big thing some years ago, so I guess it still is. I just never see anybody talking about it, and I don't really go research it either. So, that being said, it might be still a big thing, but I always wanted to do that. But I would hate to go geocaching and there's nothing because everybody's not doing it anymore. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So, yeah, Artie Dar used to do geocache. I don't know if she still does. I know she used to, Carrie. Yeah, this is Paula and I think are each have a 20-year-old heat gun. These are the first ones that came out, and I think she still has hers like this. It's still soldiering on. It's still soldiering on. I know, and a lot of people that buy the new ones, they'll have them for like less than a year and they quit on them. So you get GPS coordinates and you find, yeah. Oh, okay. You're explaining to somebody. Okay. Hey, Barb. Barb, I was telling the girls before you got here, obviously, that I woke up this morning and I was talking to Denise on her way to work. And I said, yeah, I'm thinking about doing an impromptu stream today. Barb streams at 2 every Friday. And so I have some time before Barb comes on. She goes, Mom, today's Thursday. And I thought she was kidding. I literally thought it was Friday. I've been so busy and thought it was Friday. And I said, and so she told me, she goes, so I think you have plenty of time to stream before Barb comes on. Okay, so hi, Barb, by the way. And I was glad to hear that you're not in the flood zone, Barb. So, anyway. Yes, I skipped a whole day somewhere. All right, so let me get back to working on let me take a sip of coffee. I am going to have to go get some hot coffee. I did make a fresh pot before hitting record. And I'll post that. I did a quick little like 1-minute video of my Christmas tree. I'll post that too. I'd already everything's off of the tree except the lights, and I pretty much put everything away except my lighted garlands around the house. So there's not really any decorations to see but the tree. But I said, you know what? I should just video my tree before I take it down because it's coming down this weekend. Annie and Dan and Logan are coming next weekend from LA. And they're only going to be here the weekend, really. Well, and Monday. They leave Tuesday, like at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., something like that. So they won't be here very long. So I got to get all that crack-a-lacking too. Get everything, all the Christmas stuff taken down. All right, so let me get a white pencil. Let me move my commission thing out of the way here. Don't want anything getting on that. Sharpen a white pencil and start mapping. Yeah, I know. Streaming tomorrow's questionable for you, Barb. Well, we'll look for you too. And you know, again, it's sometimes there's days like Barb's Fridays at 2. It seems like I've always got something going on that time, so I have to watch Barb's recording. And again, with anybody that comes on at night, I saw Paula stream last night, and so I have to watch her recording. So okay, so what I do next, I just have, you know, a light sketch. I don't have a lot of detail. My main first detail comes in when I start with the white pencil. I don't know, maybe I should zoom in one. Let's try to zoom in one. Hang on, guys. I don't want to get too close, but let me refocus. Come on, focus. Let's see how that works. Here we go. It's a little, you can see a little better. Yeah, well, we're trying to see if a whole bunch of people will do a whole day of New Year's, Barb. So if you stream, I mean, do you know a time yet? Oh, I got to do a little bit of, let me put a little bit of her, I'm going to use a dark, that's black, I want dark brown. I want to put a little bit of her eyebrows in first. Yeah. Her eyebrows are kind of almost black, but I want to kind of get them mapped in where, so I know where I want to put my white pencil. So I'm just going to kind of, even her eyebrows are put together. She's always so, I told her she looks so put together. She always does. Looks very put together. Bye, Janet. Thanks, everybody that pops in every now and then, or, you know, for however long you can be here. This is impromptu. I just kind of said, well, you know what? It's New Year's, and a lot of times all the streamers get together and do some kind of a New Year's show. And so I'm hoping a whole bunch of other streamers will stream today, too. No idea about time, still testing new equipment. Oh, okay. You want to test it? You want us to be your guinea pigs today, Miss Barb. Okay. And where's my... Just want to erase a little bit of the pencil line that I got right along. And I should use my brush to not smear pencil. All right, so let's get started on mapping. This is what I call mapping the face, because I just do it with white. And I try to keep up with chat while I'm doing it. You want to stream, but you're scared. Well, you know, we always just, you know, we tell everybody, get over yourself, Galena. Get over it. You have to get over it and just go for it. I saw Sarah O post on Twitter that she is got her equipment all ready to go. You don't really need a lot of equipment to start streaming. Now, I mean, if you want to have, like, now Barb's probably got the most professional equipment of any of us, but she also has Hot Sun that helps her. And she'll be the first to admit that he's the one that got her all set up with the, you know, the fancier equipment and all. So wouldn't even know what to do. Well, you don't know at first, but you do it anyway, and you just get better at it. You get better at it. I mean, I hope I've gotten better at it from my very first stream 5 years ago. I told y'all that some of y'all have been here that long, but my very first stream, I talked so quiet and so low. I mean, I talk like this. And the reason being was because I have such a loud voice. I hope my voice, speaking of, I might have my volume a little high right now from when I went down for the Christmas tree video. Anyway, so I talk loud. So I tried to overcompensate by talking really quiet. Okay, I got to get rid of some of that pencil line up there before I go with the cup. I don't want white. If I put white pencil over a graphite, it's either going to smear or show. So I really want to get rid of that graphite. So I kind of erase the graphite as I go a little bit. So anyway, my very first stream, I had one girl and one friend that I've known online for 20 years. And so he and the girl were going to be like there just to see how it sounded, what it looked like. And at this time, the only people I'd really watched streamed were Blade was the very first person Artistic Biker, was the very first person I ever watched stream, and Paula was the second person I ever watched stream. And I said, this looks like fun. I can do this. So anyway, I said, okay, I can do this. So I got a cheap Logitech at the very first Logitech. Now this one's a little better, although again, it doesn't have the auto light lock. That's why it kind of gets light and dark. But anyway, so I set up to do my very first stream, and it wasn't hard to set up. I mean, I'd been online and chat rooms and all that for, at that time, 15 years. Now it's been, since then it's been 20 or more years doing chat rooms and, Merc and all that, IRC. And so it wasn't like new to me to talk to people. And although it was voice-wise, but I was used to interacting, I should say. I was used to interacting with people online. So that part wasn't new to me. So anyway, I start setting up for my first stream and everything. I said, I talk so loud. I should, really not knowing, I should talk a little quieter because I probably will be blasting people out with my loud voice. And so I started my first show doing some ATCs, some artist trading cards. And that was the first show that I did. And I talk like this. So I take the ATC and I take the paint and I edge went around the edges, and I made sure that the collage part was real. And I was talking like that. And my guy friend said, I think you need to speak up a little. It sounds like you're trying to do a porn video. I said, okay, I think I'll talk a little louder. So anyway, it was, yeah, that was my first foray into a Ustream, talking way too quiet. So anyway, here I'm just putting it, I'm just kind of mapping out the highlights, the brightest highlights. So anyway, what I was saying to you and anybody else that wants to start streaming, you just go for it, and here's one of the other things is, at the time I did it, I didn't have a lot of people to ask. I just had a couple of friends that, I'd interacted with Paula and VickyBR and, some of the other people by this time. But, I didn't really have, anybody to ask or anything. I just did it. So you can do it. You can do it. Yeah. That's true. You can turn down the volume if it is really loud. But I didn't know all that stuff. I didn't know any of that, you know, video stuff. I still learning about video stuff. But at the time, my very first stream, you know, I just plugged in the camera and turned it on. Anyway. Yeah, and that's a good point too. Jean said for your first stream, choose something you're most comfortable doing, so you can focus on like talking to people in the chat and other things. So you're not like so focused on what you're doing that that you can't do other things. Okay, her little nose is not quite that wide on that side. But, you know, having done it now for 5 years, I mean, I really, if I don't stream some weeks, it really feels like I'm missing something. Hey, honey, yeah. Hubster's coming in.
Right down to the lake.
You're going to ride down the lake, and it's going to be a big, muddy mess.
Well, I just want to see, make sure everything's okay.
Okay.
Smoking my cigar since you were busy.
I am busy. Working on Miss Vicky B. Here's something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. Holler when you get down there. He just gave me a look like, oh, well, you're not going to miss me, are you? Okay. Are we going to make a turkey tomorrow? Okay. All right. So, anyway, I want to stream. You have to get your setup. Yeah. Well, look for, you know, I mean, to me, the best starter, the Logitech has some nice cameras. And there's another camera I saw, Jean, I wanted to ask you about later that I found, and I wanted to ask you your opinion on it. Anyway, my first Logitech camera, let's see, where is it? I still have it around here somewhere. It wasn't even an HD. This one's an HD. Now, let's qualify something by saying we just now on Ustream got high resolution back, okay? For a long time, for a couple years, we didn't even have that. We had to use medium resolution unless you were a paying streamer. And so now we have high resolution, which is awesome. But it's not HD like, you know, I mean, even with an HD camera, it's not like HD like if you did it on YouTube directly. Like if you record something with your camera in HD and put it on your computer and then upload it to YouTube, it's going to be a better quality if you have an HD camera than going directly through Ustream, which is what me and a lot of the streamers do. We just record live, no editing, we don't do any changes. Whatever happens on Ustream, we just directly upload it straight to YouTube with no editing or anything. That's the easiest way. That's the easiest way to record anything. Am I right, Jean? Hey, Jonna. Are you and Sister Woman, you and Darcy going to do a show tomorrow? Wait, that would be Saturday. I keep thinking today is Friday. Are y'all doing a show on Saturday? I thought I saw something about that. And post a link to your Facebook account, or your Facebook group, Sister Woman. Yes, for sure. No way I'm editing. Yeah, exactly. Well, not only do I not want to edit 3-hour videos, and sometimes more if I go into another part too. I'm going to try to keep my hand a little bit out of it's putting a shadow. Not that that's so bad, but let me sharpen my pencil. But the other thing beneficial, you lose a little quality from your high resolution now on Ustream from a HD, but it uploads a 3-hour video will upload to YouTube in less than 30 minutes. Now, once in a while it says it failed and you have to do it again, but that may happen 1 every 10. But if it happens, you just upload it, you just re-upload it, and it connects or whatever. So you can upload a 3-hour video in under 30 minutes. You just cannot beat that. I mean, in my opinion, you know. I would like to do a few YouTube, just YouTube videos, quick small ones, you know, but I just can't, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to stream and do videos where I have to either edit them or take days, even with high speed, internet. It still will take a long time to upload to YouTube. I don't care who you are, you know, but Ustream does it for you. It's just like almost instantaneously. I mean, I call 30 minutes instantaneously, you know. Hey, Lynn, Happy New Year to you too. New Year Eve. Yeah, and I do want to talk to you about this camera I saw, Jean, but I don't want to talk about it yet till I, like hash it out with someone that knows more about cameras than me. So, anyway. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about Ustream, YouTube, and different, This is Miss Vicky B, who does the planner videos, and I want to try to focus at least once. Hang on, I gotta zoom in a little bit right here. At least once a month on a YouTuber that I either like or watch, and so I thought it would just be kind of fun to do a video. I mean, a video. I got my mind on the videos now. A drawing, a portrait of a YouTuber that I like or admire or watch a lot. And try to give some attention to YouTube, because it's like, we're here live on Ustream and I'm interacting with people live, and, you don't get to interact that much. I mean, I try to answer every comment that I can on YouTube. I need a little dark right here. I need a little smile here to be kind of accented. I try to answer every question that I get on YouTube, but it's like, they don't get the same attention that we all give each other here. By the way, I love your Prisma handheld sharpener. Absolutely no lead breakage since you started using it. Okay, your Prisma handheld sharpener, is that like, is this it? No, that's the Kuma Lips. I'm not sure which one you mean. You mean one like this kind? I'm not sure which one, Jean. I have them all, but I don't know which one you're talking about. And for me, it does not matter which, because some pencils will just sharpen and sharpen and sharpen and sharpen just fine, and then you'll get that occasional one that, like, for instance, I have a couple of greens that just break and break and break and break and break and break. I don't know. So I know it's not the way I'm sharpening or my sharpener, because it's not every pencil. It's just like, every fifth pencil. The black cylinder, it's kind of like this one though, but the Prisma brand. I think I gave my Prisma brand one to Cam. This is the Coom Ellipse, which I think is similar. I think it's similar to the Prismacolor one. Yeah, see, it's like this. Yeah, okay. So, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so so I'm drawing Miss Vicky B this month because, or today, for the new year, and people that like planners and goal setting and all that. Miss Vicky B is like, to me, like, the planner queen. She, unboxes and shows pretty much every planner. And speaking of planners and planning and goal setting and organizing and cleaning, Scrappy Camper Sisters, i.e. Jonna, i.e., or I should say AKA, Jonna, AKA Sister Woman, half of the Scrappy Camper Sisters, the other half being Darcy Glam, have started a Facebook group called, let me get it right, Come Clean 2016, about organizing your art spaces and maybe other things too, and your supplies and all that. So, Jonna, links are open if you want to post the Facebook group link, or your Ustream, which they're going to stream on Saturday, this coming Saturday. Hey, there you go, Sherry. Sherry's the secretary. I'm sure. I think she's the secretary. Sherry's secretary of a lot of things. I'm just taking my time here, guys, and really kind of focusing a lot on the chat and everything while I'm doing this. I'm not in any hurry. Again, I try to get as much done in a couple hours, but I rarely finish a portrait here, you know. But I do need to go get some hot coffee. So let me take a quick break, guys, and run down and get some coffee. Links are open. Anytime y'all want to post anything you're doing now or in the new year or anytime, you know, links are, links are open. I guess Carrie opened links, but I've seen people posting links. Links are open to post your YouTube, your Ustream, your blog, your whatever you're using these days. So I'll be right back, guys. Let me get some hot coffee. Uh-oh. I just unplugged my phone. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Oh, good, Rain. Rain's got 5 boxes of stuff to donate. Yeah, it's hard when, you know, when you are busy or if you're working to, you know, once you get started on organizing something, to actually get it all done. So that's one of the things that Scrappy Camper Sisters are trying to help everybody do. They're giving you like little assignments every week. But I had just done a big reorganizing in here, like in, was it October when Denise was here? And I'm just going to lightly base in her teeth right now. I don't want to get too much. Teeth, you got to really take your time on. And you don't want like harsh lines. I've shown that before. It's better to indicate, although she has absolutely gorgeous teeth, but it's better to organize it's better to organize your teeth. Everybody organize their teeth. It's better to do teeth. Less is more. No, that didn't sound right either. Less is more. Oh my gosh. Now my eyes are watering. It's best not to have lines. In other words, you don't want to do your teeth like, let me find like the cover here or something. In other words, you don't want to have your teeth like, here's your smile, like this. You don't want your teeth to look like that. Oh, gee. It's better to like indicate where the spaces are between with just nothing rather than lines of dark color. Okay, so then just get a little bit down here of our smile showing under there. I'm just kind of blocking it in right now. Okay. Okay. Now I got to get my eyes get done watering. Yeah, what do I got in my coffee? Hey, Ro, what do I have in my coffee? Yeah, just milk. That's all I ever put in my coffee. But I know what you're meaning. Yeah. Oh, see. So if you're just joining me, here's my picture that I'm working off of. There's Miss Vicky B right there. That's a picture I'm working off of on my iPad. Let me get the focus back in. Come to Mama. Come, get the focus. Get my focus card there. When I pull the iPad in, it kind of has a tendency to get out of focus. But I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, Howard. No, I'm not, Jean. But how is that? Has anybody heard from Jen Oz? Oz Jen? Today or on Twitter? Because I'm not following Twitter when I stream. Oh, I got to zoom back in a little here. Bye, sister woman. Happy New Year. Yeah, y'all make sure and try to make it over to her Ustream show on Saturday. Scrappy Camper Sisters. And they just do all kinds of mixed media projects and all kinds of things. It's not like really Scrappy Camper Sisters. Sounds like scrapbooking, but that's like really not it. They do all kinds of scrappy things. Oh, you're not leaving. Oh, I thought everybody said bye. Maybe somebody else was leaving and said bye to you. Okay. And of course, Darcy Glam rarely makes it to the morning shows because she's at work during the day. Okay, I got to get rid of that pencil right there. Needs to be, I got to get rid of that little bit of graphite there because her chin goes this way. And I really try not to touch the graphite much because I try to, like, once I get my white mapping done, I really try to get rid of as much graphite as I can. Yep, finally have a day off and you have to do taxes. Oh, gee. So if you're watching this recording, just another FYI, this is a live show on Ustream with live people, with a live chat. Well, most of them are live. Hey, Dixie. Most of them are live. That's the problem I have with my faces. The graphite makes my color pencils, yeah. I try not to, like right there on her lip, I know I'm going to use like a rose, like well, I can't think of the name of the color, but anyway, like a rosy red there. And it won't be so bad going over that with the rosy red. But like in the teeth, I'm real careful not, I try to do areas very lightly, you know, with the graphite anyway. But like the edge of her face or some of the hair, I've covered up with the wash. So that's not really so much of a problem. But you do have to kind of, like for instance up here on her hairline, I erased the graphite line I had there before I put the white pencil. It's really hard to get over graphite. I get on top of graphite with white. Now if I'm going over like the black, or you know, she has a lot of dark makeup on, so that won't be a problem as far as the graphite, you know, doing black mascara and stuff, that won't be a problem with the graphite. So, yeah, you just kind of have to know where you're going, you know, with it. And also, don't forget when you're, you know, maybe at this stage, or when you're, even when you're drawing it, it's, well, probably really especially when you're drawing. If you want to make sure your proportions are right and everything, turn it upside down. Turn your picture upside down. Turn your reference picture upside down, and make sure everything's in proportion, because it's an obvious way to see something that's wrong, is turning it upside down. Okay. All right. A little bit more. And I'm doing light coats. I'm not like bearing down very hard. It's much better in color pencil to do light coats rather than like one real dark, you know, whatever color. Just take, you know, you got to take your time. You got to take your time with portraits. Well, anything really that you're doing color pencil blending, but especially portraits. All right, so that's kind of my map. So you can see it's starting to form her, you know, the roundness of her cheeks, you know. Up here's, you know, she's got her forehead's lit right here. It's real white right between on her nose bridge right there. This is, her nose is going to be a little thinner right here than I have. So I want to also make sure not to get too much graphite right there. Yeah, it's just going, our rain is just clearing up after a week here. And I think it's supposed to kind of be nice the rest of the week. Okay, so let me sharpen my pencil again. And her little dip in her lip, a little sharper. And I know it looks like she doesn't have much of a lip right now, but when she gets her lipstick on, when we put her lipstick on, all right, so I want to do a little bit of work in her eyes. So usually, even though I'll put a little bit of white where I know the highlight's going to be in her eye, I almost always go back with just a touch of white acrylic in that one bright highlight in her eye, in the eye later, to make it really pop. But I think I got enough going here now where I can start in her eyes. Now, sometimes, and I tell y'all, don't do as I say, not as I do, because sometimes I'll go ahead and put a lot of the makeup on, and she has actual black mascara and eyeliner. The thing about doing that is, if at all possible, you want to have the flesh colors around the eyes. Let me grab some other colors here. A few colors here. You really want them to be, no, that's purple. That's not what I want. This is the color, I think. No, that's not it either. That I want for her lips. Nope, that's not it either. You want mahogany red. That's the color I want for her lips. You want to be able to get as much of the skin around those areas done before you put on the makeup, the black mascara, eyeliner, whatever, because it's very hard once you get that black mascara on to get it to color the eyelid. Like if you need some, you know, flesh color around the eye and you've already got mascara on it, it's hard to like color in between mascara. So it's best to get all your flesh tones around those dark areas done first. But sometimes on stream, I'll go ahead and get a little ahead of myself just so you can see a little bit more progress than you would see if I waited till the very end to put the mascara on. Because those kind of things are the last touches, you know. And if I wait, you won't get to see me actually do it if I wait till the end, because you know, I'm not going to be here 8 hours. Okay. So, all right. And her face looks, I mean, this is just the map. Don't make it look like she's all wrinkly or anything here. Her face is very smooth. Let me show you again. She's very smooth. Her face is very beautiful. Skin is flawless. And it doesn't quite look like that right now, but this is just some of the highlights. This is my map. So you got to be patient. Yeah. You got to be patient. It takes a while for these things. So I will post the finished picture, of course, but it probably won't be today. I mean, I probably won't finish it today. Like, I got to finish that commission that I showed y'all I'm working on. But I wanted to at least start it and, you know, show the YouTube community that I appreciate them as well. Okay, so I got quite a few colors here, and I know I'm probably going to need more. Let's see, I know I'm going to need, did I get a sienna? And I'm going to need, and I'm not sure, I haven't picked eye colors yet. Her eyes are kind of like a Payne's gray blue with a gold, yellow ochre gold around the pupil. So I'm going to want to spend a lot of time on the eyes. Maybe I'll zoom in again to do the eyes a little closer. And let me say hi to some people that have popped in. Thanks, everybody. Got over 50 people here. Thanks for being here on Impromptu. Hey, Lilith. 3G. Hey, Deb. Deb Webb. I'm not going to repeat everybody I've already said hi to. Wee Hootie. Hey, Suzanne. Lisa, Lindy, Lender. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Not that Martha. Hey, Packer Die. And Sharon Persimmon. She might be at work. Shh, she might be at work. She is, if y'all have not ever talked to Sharon Persimmon, she has the funniest sense of humor ever. I've known her, too, for like 5 years. Poppy... Hey, RV, sweet lady. I always accuse her of being my mom. I know it's not my mom, but because my mom's an RVer. Sherry, Secretary Sherry, Tam, Twister. Hey, people. Thanks for being here. Oh, and speaking, let me see real quick. Let me find, where's my little, I have a little list over here somewhere. Where is it? Where's my little list of... And I got to get with Eileen, too, about mailing to the next person with the baby book. Here. I just wanted to see real quick. I sent, who was it? Okay, yeah, Rain is here. Rain, did you get your print that I sent you from... Good grief, her name just slipped my... I'm trying to think of her YouTube name and her real name. Did you get your Indian print, your Indian warrior print, Rain? I want to make sure that some of y'all got that. And Janet, I think Janet already left. I don't know if she got hers too. I just want to make sure that y'all got your prints. Okay, you did get it. Okay. Okay, I will. I'll email you, Eileen. I'll email you. Okay. Oh my goodness, I gotta find her name. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to think of her YouTube name. My Fairy Treasures. Angie Bell. Yeah, My Fairy Treasure, Angie Bell. A couple people won her prints. Janet and Rain. So I wanted to make sure y'all got them, which Rain said she did. And then what was the other thing that I wanted to make sure? Something else I mailed out. A list. Okay, well, anyway, those are the two main ones I wanted to make sure. Okay. Okay, yeah, you're welcome, Eileen. Thanks for participating. I know, isn't it gorgeous? I have my copy. She sent me one too, so here's the one I have, and then she sent, I don't remember who got which one, but somebody else got one like this. So this is the print that I got that she did. She's done at least 3 or 4 that I know of, different Indian warrior prints or paintings, and sent us some prints. So yeah, I couldn't think of My Fairy Treasures for whatever reason. So you heard the garage door open, Eileen. Bye, Hubster. Yeah, it was the garage door. Okay, so let me go back here. And yeah, I'll work on her eyes here shortly. I usually will start with, even no matter what color the eye, the iris, the pupil, yeah, no, the iris. Whatever color it is, I still put some white down because it'll keep the color more vibrant on this tan paper. So I put just a little bit of white under the color of the eye. And then let me go ahead and just kind of put in a little bit of the pupil here, just so we can start to give her a little bit of eye. And her makeup is very, very black, and her eyes themselves have a black, they're a black ring around them. Well, that is probably a very, very dark, dark, dark blue. But, so I just want to kind of get her eyes going, because people freak out when they say, oh, it looks so weird, I gotta put some eyeballs in her. Okay. And then I'm going to put like a Payne's, well, not even a Payne's gray yet. I want like a nice light blue under the Payne's gray look. Because her eyes are kind of, they're a different color. They're like a blue, like kind of like a cross between a Payne's gray with a touch of a blue-green, and then around the pupil it's like gold. But I'm just going to put a little bit of a light blue in it for now, just so that y'all don't freak out that you can't see any eyeballs. See, this is what she looks like without makeup. See, we know what you look like without makeup, Miss Vicky. Sherry's pretending she doesn't see math talk. Okay, so, and then the white part of your eye will usually have a shadow as well. So the shadow in the white part of your eye, a light blue, is just always like, I like light blue better than a gray. Because if you really, really look really close at the shadow, or the, I guess that's just the easiest way to say the shadow of the eyelid over the white part of the eye is blue. It's like a blue gray most of the time. I'm not saying 100%. I mean, if you've been crying, your eyes are going to be red. There's, different circumstances. But all right, so before I go any further, though, I'm going to go ahead and try to do the skin around the eyes, the eyelids and all that, so that I can put on her makeup. I want to put on her makeup. Oh, let me go ahead and, is this it? The mahogany red? No, that's crimson. Get this. Is this it? No, that's a dark brown. Here it is. Yeah, mahogany red. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of lips on her here. Just so y'all can start to see her face a little come to life a little bit. And again, I already have like the white bright highlight that's right above her lip. So when I blend in the flesh, it's not going to actually touch this red lip. But you got to be careful wherever you're going to put other colors that are going to touch the, like a red or a black or whatever. So I'm just going to kind of get a little bit of a base here. I'm not going to solidly color in her lips now. Don't go and do that. Don't put like a lipstick on her there. You gotta take your time. Go gently. Just, I'm barely touching the paper here. So anyway, back to anybody that's thinking about wanting to start streaming this year, any of us will be glad to help you answer questions, or, if we're all here. We're all here for you. We're all here for you. Okay, so, and let me just tell you some of the colors that I'm using here. And I can't tell you which one I'm actually picking up at which point, and hopefully the names are on them, because sometimes I sharpen at the other end and I don't see the name. I'm just used to these, the same colors. Now, I'm not the only red that so far that I've pulled out. I have a little bit of a pink here, because there's going to be, she'll have a little bit of pink under, her makeup here. But let me just tell you some of the colors I'm using. Pink, and hopefully, oh wait, where's my mag light, Jean? Jean made me get this app. It's awesome on the iPhone. It's the mag light. Okay, so hang that activating camera. Okay, so let's, I don't want to put it under here because it's going to flash out. for whatever reason, it's funny. My iPad will flash it out for a second, but I can get it back usually. But my iPhone flashes like white, so it just doesn't work. So let me just tell you the colors. Okay, tell that's pink, and of course white and black and dark brown. I know those. And then mahogany red. Okay, I know these already. This is henna, but I have my magnifying light over here. Then this one is, I think it's a dark ochre, but I don't remember the exact name of it. Is this one too? No, it's not terracotta, but it's a dark ochre. And then hang on, let me get my light. Let me get my magnifying glass on it. This one is, okay, let me click the little zoom. It is awesome, Jean. This one is nectar. Okay, nectar. Then we have, in no particular order here. It's just finding it. It's so close I can't even find it. All right, this one is, peach, just peach. And then the blue that I was using here is blue slate. All right, then we have, what's this one? It's verdigris something in the, I don't have the English version. I think it's yellow ochre. I think that's a yellow ochre, because I've sharpened some of these down to nothing. And this is nectar again, so I don't need two nectars. And then this is, I think, moon, what is this one called? Gingerbread. And this one is, these are just some of the flesh colors I use for a Caucasian person, you know, for, and peach beige. And then I do have, is this a yellow ochre? That's not it. A couple others that sometimes I need depending on their makeup. Like this one is lavender. If it has a little bit more purple than peach, than pink. So I have that as standby. And then there's another one here that I really use a lot. Let me see here. I'm looking at it under the mag light. Did I say ginger root already? Yes, a ginger root. What other one here? I'm just telling y'all some of the colors that I use for yeah, here's my yellow ochre. Okay, and then a blue gray. That's and of course I might pull some other colors as well, but I just kind of want to tell you the ones that I use quite often. Now, where's my blue? Hang on, there's a blue gray I like. This is it. It's cool gray, 50% cool gray. That's an awesome blue. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it with that for now. So those are some of the colors that that I use for like just a Caucasian person. You know, if I do African American or other, you know, then I'll have more of the siennas and the browns and other colors. Trying to think of some of the other colors that I use. But, you know, like here's some of the darker browns that I have too. So. Hey, Robin, did I miss saying hi to you? Great. Yeah, ginger root. Did I say ginger root? Because ginger root is one that I use a lot. I think I said ginger root. Did I pull ginger root? Yeah, I did. So, these are the colors that I'm using the most. Just because I do have people ask what colors I use, but I can't stop and say like, okay, right now, because I have to get out my mag light. Okay, so right now I'm using, is this ginger root or is this beige? You know, I just know the color that I'm picking up by the pencil because I've used them so much, but I just can't stop and tell you the name of every one because I'm back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I don't know, Sister Woman was saying something. Carrie was put it in caps. Something about a giveaway. I missed that, Sister Woman. I missed it. All right, so I am going to go ahead though and start with some of the eyelids and stuff. Now, most of her around her eyes is very light. So I'm just going to start here with the, is it the light peach? See again, I want to know every color. Yeah, light peach. As just to get a base of skin color going on. And I'll just keep darkening it and darkening it in areas that need to be shaded. Now, I'm not really too worried about going over this pencil here, this graphite here, or like right along here, because it's her makeup is very dark in the creases. So, you know, it's all good. Because most of the work around her eyes is going to be makeup. But I do want to have at least a little bit of peach under the makeup. And then I'll zoom in a little when I'm working on the makeup and her eyes. Okay. If you have any questions, bye, Claire. Then just put them in caps. And I hope that, you know, y'all are kind of enjoying just watching a little bit of portrait. You know, I mean, we do a lot of different things, mixed media, art cards, color booking. I love every bit of it. But portraits is where I make money. So I like to show that every now and then too. So, dang. Is that what you said, Robin? Dang. So again, just a little bit more. So even when I go over the white with the peach, it'll take the whiteness off a little bit. Although there are some areas I want to keep really bright white, but this starts blending and smoothing. Starts blending and smoothing it out a little bit more. And then she'll have more rosy red cheeks and more color, but this just gets it started. Now, that is a little bit of too much graphite right there in that little, in the lines right there. I don't want a lot of graphite there. But you'll know I'm just talking it out. And you know, I might work on this for a while here, do some eyes, and I might just wait till, what day is today? Thursday? Till my next stream, like Monday. Maybe I'll save working on her some more till Monday. So, you know, because I know people like to see a lot of the process, but there's just no way you can do it in one stream. So maybe we'll just work on this today and then I'll pick it back up on Monday. Would y'all like to do that? Because I know I'm not going to finish it, and y'all know I'm not going to finish it today. But I mean, I could maybe finish it in 1 or 1.5 more parts. So now I'm just kind of going over all the tan paper as well, putting a nice light coat, and I'm barely. I mean, y'all just don't know how light of a touch I'm using. I am barely touching the paper. I mean, let me see. Let me get a piece of black paper so I'll give you a... Let me get a piece of black cardstock. like to, love to see Vicky on Monday. Okay. So let me just show you with a piece of black paper how lightly I am pushing on when I'm doing like here and going over and putting a coat of beige on here. Look, this is how lightly I'm pushing. Can y'all see that? I'm barely, let me give you heavy pressure to see the difference. That's full pressure right there. This is how much pressure I'm putting on right now on her face. Now watch when I just stay in one place. Look. I'm just going to keep staying in one place. Same pressure. Same pressure. See how many layers? All right, let me do it this way. Let me just put, I'm going to start, let me put like a little bit of a, I just want y'all to see the variation in pressure. All right, so here's a very, very light pressure. Okay. Now I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to do a little bit more pressure. Well, not even more pressure, just another layer. Okay, now I'm going to do in the middle here a little bit dark. I mean, another layer. Not more pressure, just another layer. Okay, now in the middle here, I'm going to do another layer. Okay, and a little bit more layer. So you see the different, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but that's just the same pressure, but over and over and over again. Okay. And it is a little flashed out for color-wise, but I'd rather have it a little too light than a little too dark. Okay, so again, I'm going to go back on her forehead here and just put a nice coat, a nice even coat of the light peach. And I can't say that, you know, oh, you have to do it this way or this is the only way. It's just the way that I found that I do my portraits, by starting out with the lightest lights and then putting on some peach and, well, depending on the, you know, skin color, of course. And then so I'm kind of like blending out the white. That's what I'm thinking of when I'm doing this layer. I'm thinking of, I'm blending out the harsh white that I put on the very first layer, but I'm barely putting any pressure. I'm just kind of trying to smooth out the bright white. Okay, that's what I'm thinking while in my head. You have to think of it as this is going to, if you go in to the portrait thinking, okay, I'm going to be spending the next 8 hours on this, then you're not in any hurry, you know. And I try to remind myself that when I'm on stream, you know, not to hurry so much. I mean, you got to hurry a little bit because I want to get something done, you know, in 3 hours. But you have to, if you're just doing it for yourself and no one's watching, then you just got to think, okay, for the next 8 hours, not necessarily in a straight 8 hours, but I'm going to spend 8 hours on this portrait. So there's no hurry. Let's just take our time. Let's do lots of layers. Let's, you know, if you think like that, then you'll have lighter pressure. You'll take more time because you know you're going to be at this for a while. No, I didn't say I was streaming for 8 hours. Carrie, you're so bad. And even if I did stream for 8 hours, I would not be doing a portrait for 8 hours. That, you know, I've done it before. I mean, I've done 8 hour streams before, but doing one thing like that for 8 hours straight without a break with doing something else or anything, I don't want to get bored with my work. I don't want to say bored because I never get bored. I don't have time to get bored. I don't want to get the repetition of the same thing. I don't want to get tired of doing the same thing. Bored's not the right word. Because for me, I have to have a little bit of a break in between, like, you know, I might work 4 or 5 hours, say 4. I might work 4 hours on a portrait and then I need a break. I'll either have to get up and go eat or, you know, just do something different because I don't want to get, what's the word? I don't want to get lackadaisical in the portrait. I don't want to lose my interest in it because I want it to turn out. And I know that if I'm not really focusing and concentrating and, you know, really working out all the little bits and detail, then I just start, in my mind, it starts kind of like just going into art mode. And that's okay for some of it, but I want to concentrate to make sure everything is looking like it should. Well, it's not really burnt out. I don't get burnt out on it. I want it to be fresh. I want my work to be, you know, as fresh at the end of the portrait as it is at the beginning of the portrait. Like I'm excited about the portrait and doing a good job. I want that same excitement and freshness to be at the end so that the whole thing has got my best work in it. So, okay. So let me go to a little darker peach. Let me sharpen it over here. Around her eyes, her eyes are very, her makeup is very, and she does have a little bit of a shimmer in her eyeshadow, which I do not like to use shiny pencils, although I have the gold, the silver. I don't like to use them. For one, if you photograph it, it's not going to show up anyway, like glitter. You know, glitter doesn't show up. But there's some areas here that are really stark white highlights in her makeup. So I want to capture that real quick before I go into the what do you call it? The eyelashes and the darker makeup. She has like a kind of almost like a lavender sheen, a lavender eyeshadow in areas. So I'll probably add a little bit of that in there. You're going to see her eyes pop here in a second. You're going to be surprised. Once I start putting the makeup on, she just looks like she doesn't have makeup, like we all do without makeup, right? You know, it is kind of funny to watch when you see the person that you're drawing really like what they look like without makeup. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of interesting. Let's just say it's kind of interesting to see the person without makeup. So I'm just kind of hitting those brightest highlights again. And like right on top of the eyebrows here, it's really bright. And I'm just kind of picking out some of the brighter highlights again because I went over the whole thing with a peach. So I'm going back in with another like light layer of white to keep the bright highlight there. She only has foundation on. Yes, she's only got her foundation on. That's right, Carrie. So I will put her makeup on before we leave here. Don't worry. I mean, I might not get all her skin done and her teeth and all that. I won't get all that done today, but I will get her eye makeup on. And then we'll continue like her hair and her clothes and all that. We'll make sure, and more of her skin. We'll do that more again on Monday. So I will pick it back up on Monday. But you know, when I'm working here and talking about it, it does take a little more energy than just doing it on my own with nobody to talk to. Although, don't get me wrong, I love talking about it. But it does take a little more time and energy. And if you see me doing this, what I'm doing is when I'm getting in the whites of her eyes, I'm barely touching that black and it gets on the pencil. So you got to get that off. So I just want to make sure that there's no black or dark blue or anything like that when I'm blending in those shadows in her eyes. So I'm just cleaning off the pencil. All right, so now let's go in. Oh, I was going to go in with the darker peach in just a little bit of areas. There's a little bit darker peach before I put on her some makeup. Like right in here, right along the top of her makeup. She has dark makeup in the creases of her eyes. But right above that, you can see a little bit of her skin. And let's see, right along the hairline here. So I don't necessarily just stay, so you can see how I'm just kind of continuing up here. And it may be very subtle to see these variations in the peach color and all that. All right, so right under her eyes, and she has a little bit of, you know, her eyes are kind of squinty because she's smiling really big. So I want to kind of get, that'll be not as obvious, but she, you know, kind of has her squinty around her eyes here. Again, right along the top crease, you can see a little bit more skin color. Right along her nose here. Her nose comes around here, blends around this. So it just takes time to get it all shaped up. She has a little mole right there, so I don't want to, if someone has a mole or a freckle or something like that, you can kind of indicate it, but you don't want it to be like, don't put a big black mole or something. Not that hers is black, I don't mean that. But I mean, if you have a, you know, some kind of a skin, a mole or a, you know, whatever, you know, you don't want to like, oh, you don't want to draw everyone's attention to that. Okay, so I'm just kind of going around to some of the dark, a little bit darker peach areas here. And just kind of, I just want to make sure I, you know, find them. Just want to kind of find them. Right along her chin line here. And you'll find that, you know, those bright whites that you start with, they start fading away because you're layering other colors and your hands moving on them. And so you're constantly having to, you know, don't lose those bright whites because you're constantly putting other coats of pencil around it and close by, or so you can kind of see she's kind of coming along. This is mesmerizing, Christy. Well, I'm going to zoom in here when I start doing her eyes a little because just so you can see a little better. But I just want to get enough of her skin tone around. And seriously, guys, if you do a portrait, you really want to have the skin completely done before you start putting on the black mascara and eyeliner. Because if you start to touch that again, like if I put her mascara on here and then I say, oh, I need some white right there, you're doomed. You're going to start spreading that, you know, you're going to touch that black and it's going to, you know, it just will happen. You really have to be really, you know, you really want to get as much of the skin color done around the eyes as you can. In her case, now I do want to get a little bit of that purple lavender color, because her eyeshadow has a little bit, and it's probably even a little bit more purpley than this. Let me see. Let's see. I'm going to almost go with a little bit more of a lilac. And I'm not going to try to make it like bright lilac, but I want a little hint of lilac color under her eyelashes. You probably won't see it much, but I will. You know, I'll know it's there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that lilac under her darker brown. Because, I mean, if you've all put on makeup, you know the layers that you can achieve with, you know, first you put on a light color, then a little lighter, a little purple, then you start putting on the shadows and whatnot, you know. So you may not be able to see that purple, but I can. Okay. All right. So now I am going to go ahead and zoom in, guys, and I'll have to refocus and everything. Let's see if I can. Let's refocus everything. Hang on. Okay. Might be a little, it's going to be a little unfocused. Let me try again. Maybe using my fingernail polish. No, it's going to be better to use this still to focus. Maybe take it down just a little darker. Okay. All right, so now we're going to put on our makeup, and then we're going to stop on this for today. Okay, and if anybody else wants to stream, or if y'all want to stream some more of something else, but that's all I'm going to want to work on her today, because it's already 2 hours and 4 minutes, and so I'll probably only have, let me move this out of the way, I'm probably only going to have about 30 to 45 minutes, because it usually, it allows us 3 hours, but for some reason about 2 hours and 45 minutes into it, it gives you a couple minute warning. So I'll probably have about 30 more minutes to work on the eyes. Okay, see how zoomed in I am? Okay, let me do a test in my chat here. But if no one else is streaming, we can do something else. Okay, so just real quick, let me get a brown here and just kind of indicate where her nostril is going to be. She has a little shadow like under her nose. Just, I'm barely touching. And her nostrils right there, just to kind of put it in. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to get the black again, and I'm going to start doing her pupils. And it might, hopefully it'll stay focused, guys, but I can't promise you anything. I'm zoomed in, like super zoomed in. So hopefully it's not too fuzzy, okay, hopefully. Now, her eyes, like I said, they're kind of a Payne's gray. Where's my gray? 50% cool gray. So this kind of thing, I'm constantly, I mean, her eye is zoomed in like right there, okay? Now, of course, the color's not going to show up for you there, but I'm very zoomed in to get the color, to see it as very accurate as I can. The other thing too is when you're drawing, whatever you're using a reference from, you have to constantly be looking at your reference, I would say 80% of the time, and your picture that you're working on like 20%. You are looking more at the reference than you are at your actual drawing. All right, so now I do want to get a little bit of that yellow ochre, which may not, you may not even see it, and just at looking at the portrait, but I know it's there. She has like yellow ochre around the black of the pupil. It's like gold. It's not really yellow ochre, it would be more of a gold, but you know, I'm not going to put actual gold in there. So it may or may not show up for you, and the bright white will show up when I put a dot of white acrylic in there as well. But you know, it does take some time to do the eye pupils and stuff. It takes me a while anyway, because I want to really get it right. All right, so now she has a little bit, her eyes are a very, very, I mean, they're dark, dark blue. It has almost like a bit of a turquoise look to them. I'm going to put a little bit of turquoise under paint, or under the blue. It'll show through just a little. They're kind of a dark blue gray, kind of like a Payne's gray, but it has just like a little bit of a turquoisey look to them. Now trust me, there's going to be so much black around her eyes, it's going to pop in just a minute. They're really going to pop because of the black mascara. Okay. Almost just a little bit of a... Now back to my gray. Where's my gray here? I actually need almost a tiny bit of a sienna right at the top of that gold. I'm just talking to myself. Well, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm talking it out loud. And again, it's really kind of flashed out. Almost, let me try to darken, hang on. Let me try to take the light down a little, just so it's not so flashed out. I don't know. Let's see. That's a little better. Okay. All right, now let me go back to, I need another blue. Let me get my blues out here. It's almost to be indigo. Let me see. Let me get an indigo. I think that'll be a good... Okay. Okay. Shh. 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 Very quietly. Tell y'all, I was like, stop telling us to hush. I'm going to go back over it with the gray to get some of that bright blue, because they're not that turquoise. They're more gray, but I had to have that under there. Oops. Well, that's okay. I'm going to put a white. Okay, hang on. I got to put the white acrylic on there anyway, so it's not going to matter. I'm not looking at chat, guys. Gonna have to wait a minute. Now I want to just, so now when I go over it with this white in just a couple spots, some of those other layers are going to pop through. And I'll probably have to go back a couple of times. All right, now wait a minute, wait for it. Gotta go with the process. Okay, darken up that. Now let me get me just a drop of white. I'm gonna put her makeup on. It's gonna look like her in just a minute. Hope. I know. I have confidence. All right, so now I'm just gonna take my pokey tool. Thanks, guys. All right, now I'm gonna take my pokey tool and I'm gonna put just a touch of the white, okay? But I don't just want it, her eyes are not just one, some people's are, just one bright white dot, but more likely than not, it's going to be like a little bit of a smear of white. So I'm just gonna pull that white. I need a little bit more on this one. So with a dry brush, I'm just going to kind of pull. And if you get too much white pull going across there, you can go back with the black. Okay, you can go back and make that dot a little smaller. You can always go back in there with the black, but I want to get that bright highlight right there. Okay, this one needs just a little bit more. Okay, I'm just going to pull with a dry brush right across the pupil, just so it's not a harsh dot. Now it's still a little big, the white dot, but I'll go back in there with the black pencil in a minute and get that. The other thing that I want to do now is get a very tiny pointy brush. I'm looking through my brushes. One moment, please. I just want a brush that has, I think it was William Alexander. Or maybe it was Bob Ross, 3 hairs and some air. I forget which one of them says that. I need a very, very tiny. I just want something that's even too big. I might be able to work with it though. So I just want a tiny little brush. And what I want to do is right there. Want that real bright. And then right there. Now, it's going to be still a little big, but I'm going to go in there with, and shade it down a little. But right along the edges of the, not the iris, yeah, the iris. I just want a touch of bright white. Same on this side. Just a touch of bright white there, maybe right there in the corner, which might have to be shortened down a little bit, but right now. And then right on the outside edge. That's the brightest part of the whole picture. That, right there. Okay? She has that shimmery eyeshadow right there on the top lid. And right there, there's a shimmer of bright, like silvery, I should say. It's kind of a silver eyeshadow, so I'm going to put that on now too. All right, let me just hit this with the heat gun just to make positive sure that it's completely dry. Okay. Now I'm deep in thought here now, guys. So I'm deep into the mode. So I'm trying to kind of look. Oh, hey Miss Vicky B, I'm getting ready to put your makeup on. Seriously, we're gonna put your makeup on in just a minute. Miss Vicky B, she's probably thinking, oh my gosh, give me some makeup, lady. All right, so we're getting ready to give you some makeup. All right, so I'm gonna just. All right, so I want to make sure and get the exact shape of her, the bottom part of her lid with all the makeup. Okay. Just come over here to this one. Because she has a lot, her, very black mascara and eyeliner. And we're going to capture that here. This is what you look like without mascara on, Miss Vicky. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start getting her pretty. Well, she's already pretty. Her flawless skin. Which, by the way, Miss Vicky, if you're just popping in, we're going to finish this on Monday because there's no way I can finish a whole portrait in one sitting. And I'll back off and you can see the whole skin. It's just base coated in right now. So we'll get more done on Monday. All right, so let me just get the outline of her, where her makeup goes, here and here. All right, I got a little too to the white. Okay, now I want to go back in with my light blue. Let me sharpen this. Yeah, I'm trying to decide what color your eyes are. They're kind of like Payne's gray is kind of what I saw, with a hint of turquoise and your pupils surrounded by gold. That's what I see. So I'm just doing a little bit more of the the light blue there. And then just kind of, I might have to get back in here with a little bit of acrylic paint on this side. We'll see. All right. Now just a little tiny bit of I'm right on the color? Okay. And granted, we are so zoomed in now, guys. It's not going to be, you'll see when we back out. You're going to go, oh, yeah, okay, I see now. Because we're so zoomed in. Now, she has that purple is almost got a little touch of a brown in the crease of the eye. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of get that crease of her eye indicated, because once I put the mascara on, you can't really get back in there. I'm telling you, you really want to get as much of the detail around the eyes done before you start putting on the mascara, because you don't want to have to get back in there. You don't want to have to try to get up inside the mascara. Okay. So in just a minute, we're going to put our mascara on and then we'll back out. And again, give me time to smooth out all her skin and everything. She's going to look a little wrinkly until I get her, get the layers of skin tone done. You know, we only got her base coated so far. So that's the thing about watching portraits being done. It's like, oh no, that's not, you know, you got, yeah, I got to give it time, got to work on the process. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and she has some black hairs. And again, her hair is just base coated. A little bit of a blue, you know, just to kind of blend with the blue right there, just to kind of make it like a little shadowy. And I'll turn it upside down to make sure I have her eyebrows just right. Okay. Again, just a little bit of a blue-gray shadow there. All right, now let's go ahead and put on some makeup. I mean her eyelashes. All right, here we go with the eyelashes. So I'm not looking at chat, I'm really concentrating here. And I'll show you one eye with the mascara and one eye without, just so y'all can kind of get an idea. But this is why you want to have all the skin that's right around the eyes kind of blocked or done, because you can't really get in there with another color once you put this black on. Okay, so there, I hope y'all can see that. Okay, I do need just the tiniest, there's my pokey tool again and my white paint. Going back with just one more little touch. All right, let's go ahead and do the other one now. Then we're going to back up because the skin's not done yet. You know, but people, you know, you want to see some kind of progress in a portrait. And so I kind of try to get at least some of the features done that are really going to make it look like the person, even though the skin is not smoothed out yet and done. But you'll see when I back out, you're going to go, oh, wow, when I back out. So just hang on just a minute. Okay. All right. So here we go on this side. Let's... Okay. So you can see with the mascara on. Very dark in the crease there. Okay, so now we're going to back up. Let's refocus. Hang on, guys. Let's refocus. Okay. So y'all can see we're getting there. Again, remember, her skin's not done. Her hair's not done. Let me show y'all her picture again. There she is there. Okay, so we're getting there. You know, she's just base coat. Her teeth aren't white yet. Give me time. Her teeth will be nice and white. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all, you know, got something out of this segment. And again, we're going to finish it on Monday. So we'll just title this Miss Vicky Bee Portrait Part 1. So, yeah. So again, we just started with the skin. We got to do, you know, she's got beautiful peachy, you know, peachy pink cheeks and all that. And her skin right now looks very, it's not smooth because it's not, we've only just started layering it up. Same thing for her hair. I think I will go ahead and do real quick just so her hair, again, we have just the brown base coat with the black shadows. We're going to do highlights and all this bit right here. See all these highlights? We'll have all that as well. Okay, this is just the base coat for her hair. Same thing for her, her shirt here. So with the shirt, again, what I'll do is I'll take a couple of grays, like a light gray. Let me get another gray. Where are my grays? Here we go. Probably this one. Let me sharpen this one. Hi, Gracie. Thanks for stopping in and visiting. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of shades, a darker and a lighter than this. So now what I can do, now again, I'm kind of rushing ahead of where I would normally, need to be a darker gray than that, than what I would normally do at this stage. But I want you to be able to see parts that you may not get to see, you know, because we can't get it all done in one show. All right. So, I want a little bit. Then again, her hair is going to be over the top of this. She has a couple of, you know, fabric folds. So I just want to put a little bit on. I don't overdo. Her hair's coming around here, in case y'all couldn't see. This is her hair coming around there, okay? There's a little bit of, you can see a little bit of her shirt under the hair there, but. Oh, well, good. Thank you, Miss Vicky Bee. Okay, so I don't want to overemphasize, you know, every little wrinkle. I just want to indicate, you know, she's got on a kind of a gray. Nice blouse. All right, so I just want a few little, I don't really do a whole lot of work on clothes because I don't need to. The focus is supposed to be on the face, not on the outfit, unless there is something special about the outfit that you really want to focus on. All right, so now I'm going to take the light gray and pick out some of the highlights here. See, in between the wrinkles there, kind of blend it in just a little bit, just to indicate that it's kind of a, folds in the clothing. Something like that. See, it doesn't take a lot. It's just essence of fabric here. And then maybe with the white, just a couple of little fold, extra little bit of something. And I'll probably go back in here and add a little bit more to it, but just so y'all can kind of get the idea, something like that. Okay, and it's going to be the same thing with the hair. There's lots of dark areas, like the very, very black areas where her hair, it's right along the face. You'll see a very dark shadow, and then under the hair, it's very, very dark. Okay, but she'll have some like let me just put a few in there so you can kind of see where we're going. Oh, well, we focused on you for the new year, Miss Vicky, because of your planner-ishness. I mean, not that we all love, we love your channel, and I wanted to do a portrait of you to start the year out, because you're the planner queen, and everybody wants to start with, planners and organizing. And let me kind of shade that gray in right there. Organizing and getting a fresh start for the year. So that's what we're starting with you to start the new year out. So, and again, I will put a link to Miss Vicky Bee's channel in my description box. And so everybody make sure and check her out. Again, she's going to have just a couple of dark, areas coming out here. And I will go in and, we're going to put highlights and all kinds of things. But I just, there's only so much time in one of our streams to do a portrait. So we're going to kind of, this will kind of be feathered in here. And we'll finish her skin and her hair. Let me just kind of come down here. Let's get her neck just right. Okay, so you can start to see where we're going. Again, she has beautiful white teeth. And you'll have to watch the beginning. When I started this, I said something about, I can't even remember how I said it, Miss Vicky, but something about, now when you're doing teeth, I can't remember how I said it, but it was it was funny. Hang on. Hey, you there? Oh, really? Is it up in the grass? Oh, okay. Take a picture. Okay. Bye. Okay, so there we go. So just to kind of, how much time do we have? We probably have 5 more minutes. So for the next 5 minutes before the show ends today, we'll do a little bit more on her lips. And I'm just going to use the same kind of what was it, Moroccan? No. What is it? Mahogany red. Mahogany red to put a little bit of extra, the lines in her lips, and then we'll blend that out with the white. So I want to keep it light right here in the thing. And again, I've not done her teeth yet, guys. I'll probably put a little bit of white acrylic right in the highlights. And let me zoom real tight in there. I need a, let me sharpen that. So anyway, I was saying you want to indicate teeth. But I forgot what I said. It made it sound like, you know. All right, let's see. Okay, in the very, very back inside of her mouth there. And then, so what happens is when you put the color like under the teeth, behind the teeth, in the smile area and all that, it'll indicate teeth without outlining teeth. So you like to see the corners of her mouth now? You don't want to, oh, here, I'll show you where I drew it. We don't want to do this with teeth. We don't want to do that with teeth. Okay, so what we want to do is indicate like under the teeth, or in the little gum line. You can put a little bit of a V in the gum line, but don't bring the gum line down. Don't bring that little V from the gum line and divide the teeth. Don't do that. Even if you can see on the portrait, you can see exactly where the teeth are divided. Don't do it. Where's my black? Oh, where'd my black pencil go? Ah. Okay, don't draw lines between the teeth. You can do, people will be able to understand and read into it that little V in the teeth go separate the teeth. Okay? And then even the little V, you want to kind of make sure it's not too, don't go crazy with that. Because I'm telling you, you'll look like, you know, it just won't look right. All right, so right along her lip line there, I want to get a little darker. So you can get in there with just a little bit of pencil, just to kind of indicate. I can see just a tiny bit of her bottom teeth too in her big smile. So I just want to kind of, and I don't want to rush this part. You really want to really concentrate on the teeth, not get, you know, I really don't want to talk while I'm doing this part, but I'm starting to kind of indicate her smile there. See? All right, now let me go in here just so I can show you. Let me get a little bit of the white paint, and I'm going to come in here with just a little bit of the white paint on the edges. Now, another thing I'm not doing is I'm not taking her teeth. You didn't know that we're all going to be talking about your teeth, were you, Vicky? All right, so what you don't want to do is have just blobs of white. You don't want your teeth to look like this. Blobs of white, all exactly the same, okay? Let me just move that off because it's going to stick to the back page. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight like the edges where the brightest bright on the teeth are. Then I can go back in with the pencil. I can go back in with the pencil and kind of feather that white, bright white out. Okay. So I'm just trying to find the very brightest part of the teeth. And then I'll use my white pencil to get the rest of the white, because it's not going to be quite as bright. As it is right now. Okay. All right, let me hit that with the heat gun. No, your teeth are gorgeous. Your teeth are gorgeous. Okay, so now let me go back in there with the color pencil and just kind of, and again, I'll probably spend a little bit more time on them than I am right here because I think we're getting ready to run out of time. Because I want to do a little bit more on her lip too, her lipstick. And I keep cleaning off my pencil, like I'm touching the red, so I don't want to get that red on the, like I don't want lipstick on her teeth. So I'm just cleaning it off a little. Okay, then just the tiniest little bit of indication under there where her tooth is. Oop. Okay. So it's better to almost go over those lines in the teeth than to have lines going down between the teeth. You gotta just be real careful with this. Okay, now let me go back in with the lipstick. And then blend it a little bit with the white. So anyway, Miss Vicky B, thank you for all you do on your channel with all the planners and all the unboxings and all the everything you talk about. And also now that you're starting to do color books, that's just some awesome. She had a great outlining technique that she showed on her last video. So y'all check her out. And again, I'm sure everybody here knows about Miss Vicky B. But if you're watching the recording and don't know, so you can start to see how it's coming along. A little bit more work. I need the little bit rounder teeth on the top. I want her to have her nice, perfect little teeth there. So I'll keep working on them a little bit. Okay, now she needs a little bit more of an upper lip. Okay, so let me get back in there with that. And again, I've not done her nose. I've not done her skin. So we're going to do all that on Monday. We'll finish her up, okay? But it, you know, in just 3 hours here, well, even with the gabbing, say 2 hours. You know, I still have a good 3 hours to work on it, just the skin. So I'm not looking at chat, guys. Give me 1 minute. So that's probably about all we have for this segment. Okay. So you can see how far we got. Anyway, I'm going to stop because I want it to be, you know, keep it fresh. Oh, well, we're glad to have you anytime you can stop by. So we got her eyes done anyway. Working on her smile, a little bit more work to do on the teeth and the smile, and of course her skin. We haven't really even got any of the pink or the peach or the blending or anything in the skin or her hair done. So we'll have to just, we'll keep on, okay? But I think you can see it's her. I think you can see that it's her. So I won't work on it anymore until Monday on my regular stream time. And we'll try to finish her. Okay, well, it's coming along. It's a little, you know, still, like I said, a couple more hours. But we appreciate, you know, we are always over here on Ustream talking and chatting, and I have so many people that comment and leave nice comments and follow me on YouTube. I don't want to neglect YouTube when everybody's so nice over there as well. So that's why I thought we'd try to do at least one portrait a month from somebody that I watch or follow or like or admire on YouTube, and starting with our Miss Vicky B Planner Queen. Well, I'll make sure, and I'll post it when it's completely done. But we'll spend a couple more hours on it next Monday. Thanks, guys. Well, is anybody else going to stream now, or do y'all want to do another segment of something else? Because Ustream's getting ready to stop on this segment. So if anybody else going to stream on our New Year's, do a streamathon. And I'm also probably going to go ahead and put a white outline around it. That kind of makes it pop too, you know, when we're done. Can't wait for Monday. You want to do another segment? Okay, as long as nobody else has planned on doing a stream yet, then I'll do another segment. But if y'all see somebody wants to stream on our New Year's Eve, a marathon thing, thanks, Eileen. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and save this video, and we will finish it up on Monday. So just hang loose.